last class we have completed the Indian Patent Act 1970. We have discussed about the various aspects about the act. Moving on towards the next act under the economic laws, FEMA Act. It is explained as Foreign Exchange Management Act of 1999. Exactly, a Foreign Exchange Management Act. FEMA has been introduced as a replacement for Foreign Exchange Regulation Act. That all of you need to remember this. FEMA was a replacement for FERA. What does FERA hold? Foreign Exchange Regulation Act. Now this act called as FERA was in practice for the last 10 years before FEMA was introduced. It was very strict and not suitable in the new and liberal economy. Thus, it was replaced by FEMA. Now, first we need to understand what exactly was FERA and how difficult was it for the new growing Indian economy. Now, we see that when we say new and liberal economy, something that is mentioned there is, remember, LPG Act, correct? Now, we all know, I have very well discussed with you about this act which happened in 1991, correct? When India's trade borders extended to the world trade, right, the entire world became one market. It's not Indian one market, American market, Germany market, etc. Entire world became one single market, right? That's what we talk about, three different things here: liberalization, privatization and globalization. Liberalization means, thus far as we told, FERA was very strict and it even had punishments or imprisonments for those who did not follow up the rules. It was not really suitable or going with the changes that we made in the economy in terms of respect to business or transaction or trade, etc. Right? So that's what the first thing we focused on was liberalization. So making things less regulated, okay, or making sure we have less number of procedures to follow in case you want to export, in case you want to import goods, right? The terms and conditions applied, or the duties or customs duties to be applied or levied, are much more simpler, and the procedures are much more easier to follow up by the individuals or even by the organizations. So that's about liberalization, making things less making things hassle free. Next comes privatization. No, so until then it was all government oriented. Government had major priority sector in all the kinds of trades or businesses transactions. But with LPG Act, we know that more of privatization was encouraged, right? People or organization were encouraged to start up institutions or companies with less of government intervention or with less of government control within the management of such businesses. It can be hospitals, it can be educational institutions, or it can be all the other various private sectors that today we see, right? It all began then, called as privatization concept. And definitely, if you want to start something without much intervention of government control, and if you still want to attract public or customers towards your business, there should be something that is outstanding about your company, right? Since you're saying you're completely established as a private, right, you need to make sure your goods or commodities that you manufacture are quality oriented, right? You are giving much quality and much showing up much efficiency in your work, in your usage of resources compared to that of government institutions, right? Today I'm sure you can draw a line between government institutions and private institutions in terms of efficiency or quality or the kind of services they offer, etc. Then comes the last part, globalization, right? So that's where we talk about the entire world becoming one global market, right? Where you can sell or purchase from any part of the country, right? Either India can sell its products to anywhere across, nor it can or it can start importing goods and services from any part of the world. So that became globalization. So when this was introduced right from 1991, like liberalization, privatization and globalization, commonly called as the LPG Act, with the existence of FERA, it was very difficult to follow up, right, with respect to transactions, procedures and all the other follow up. It was quite challenging. So the government of India had to make certain amendments or certain changes with the FERA Act, and that's when FEMA was born, right? Foreign Exchange Management Act. The very word of replacement, regulation, right, is replaced by management. That two words have significant difference in meaning, correct? Regulation is normally we understand is strict, or it's a lot of rules and conditions to be followed up. When I say about management, it is just about managing things. There's nothing legally abiding strictness, or I would say the legal follow up is more compulsory here. Definitely FEMA is governed by the law and is governed by Government of India, but compared to FERA, FEMA becomes more simpler and more easy for companies or individuals to have trade or trading transactions. It can be export or it can be import. That's when FEMA came into force on 1st June 2000. They made all the necessary changes. The act was passed in 1999, but with all the other required changes to be made and approved, it came into practice on 1st June 2000. Let's look at the objectives. What are the objectives of FEMA? To facilitate exchange, trade and payment. So when we say global market, so India was open to sell our goods and commodities to across the globe, and the globe from other countries we would import. And now one common thing over here is the currency, correct? Not every other country's currency operates in rupees, right? India's is rupees, other countries is yen, dollars, Australian dollars, etc. So each country's dollars or currencies differ. So we need to facilitate these external trade. How are you receiving the payment, or how are you making the payment? In what terms? How is it convertible into their respective currency? That was the very first objective, to facilitate external trade and payment, right? So we want to export goods, and when we are receiving cash or when we are paying cash, how are we following it up? Number 2, to promote and develop foreign exchange market in India. So we started focusing on, that's when maybe even the 5-year plans came. We focused upon industrialization, we focused on agriculture for the first 5 years, and then maybe the industrial sector, tertiary sector, etc. We started focusing on making more number of goods and services as to develop or promote or our foreign exchange market, right? We were welcoming other companies or other countries' industries to come and collaborate with our Indian companies. Likewise, even our Indian companies were encouraged to go and collaborate with the foreign nationals. Okay, both ways it was promoted and also developed. Number 3, to restrict current account transactions by the center in consultation with RBI. Number 4, on capital account, to allow foreign exchange and flow only transactions that are permitted. Now we'll be discussing current account and capital account in detail in the coming classes, but for now I just want you to understand, when we are talking about FEMA, right, these two accounts definitely incur over here. One is called as the current account and one is capital account. Now once the word current means what? Something that is recurring day to day, right? Current account means, what you need to remember is, the exchanges or the transactions are day to day. Every day there are transactions, and definitely When I say every day, that means transactions are recurring in nature. Again and again there is imports and exports, right? Then these current account transaction will only impact the profit and loss. Okay, now definitely if your payments are higher than your receipts, right, you end up in loss, correct? But your receipts are higher than your payments, you will have income. That's the common understanding. Now where do you indicate your income or your loss? Nothing but profit and loss statement. Okay, so that's why I want you to understand current account means where you have day-to-day transactions which are recurring in nature, which are particular about these transactions all belong to one financial year. Transactions belong to one financial year. So here we are restricting the current account transaction by the center in consultation with RBI. Now under current account we have further schedules or certain rules where certain transactions are prohibited, certain transactions are approved by the Government of India, certain transactions are approved by the Reserve Bank of India. Now based on these three categories, there are certain restrictions that is laid upon the current account, that means your day-to-day transactions. So in detail we're going to study in the upcoming classes. Let's understand the second account, capital account. What is capital account? Just the opposite of current account. Current account had day-to-day recurring transaction. Will capital account have that? No. Capital account will not have day-to-day transactions, but then they will have transaction that is spread across various financial years. Okay, now I told current account transactions only belong to one single financial year, whereas capital account, it varies across different financial years. And which statement does it occur? Balance sheet, right? Where do we write capital? Do we write capital in P&L account? No, right? We write capital in balance sheet, right? Share capital, assets, liabilities. We do not mention these items in P&L account. We mention these items in balance sheet. That is why it belongs to capital account. So basically remember, current account transactions impact PL account, capital account transactions impact balance sheet. Is that clear? So here these are the objectives. Certain things are prohibited, certain things are permitted by the FEMA Act itself. Okay, because we need to keep a track, because sometimes let's say a foreign national has a business in India, right? So whenever he has a transaction, the assets and liabilities of his company is getting impacted, right? He is having transaction that is impacting his capital account. Now from here, if the profits are being repatriated to the home country, okay, it is a foreign national having a business in India, he is earning profits here, he is making certain changes in his current account and capital account, and those money will be repatriated to the home country. So money is basically going out of India. So that definitely Government of India is very strict and needs to and identifies the requirement of regulation of such repatriation of money. So once it's out of India, it's never going to come back, that money. So I need to make proper regulation on what basis is the money going out, right? What is the purpose? When is it going out, right? What is the cash inflow, outflow? What is the result of transaction? Is it legal? Is it ethical, right? Are there bills attached to it, etc.? All those explanation is supposed to be provided. So for now, you just understand the objectives of FEMA. They facilitate external trade and payment, to promote and develop foreign exchange market in India, to restrict current account transaction by the center in consultation with RBI. So whatever RBI gives recommendations or ideas to the central government will start imposing it or practicing it. 4. On capital account to allow foreign exchange and flow only transactions that are permitted. So something that is prohibited cannot be permitted, cannot be followed up. Understood the objectives of FEMA? Let's study few definitions here. Authorized person. Who is he? He is a person who is called as a authorized dealer, or they can be called as a money changer, or any other person who has the authority from the government of India or from the RBI to deal with foreign currency or foreign security. Foreign currency you normally understand yen, dollars, Australian dollar. What is foreign security? If you are purchasing bond, that is in terms of dollars, not in terms of rupees, that becomes foreign security. Okay, securities in Indian rupees is where you have treasury bills or debentures in terms of rupees. The same if you have in terms of dollars, yen and other currency, it is called as what? Foreign security. Only a person appointed by RBI can deal in foreign exchange. Whose bylaw can deal with foreign exchange? Persons who are appointed by RBI. Non-payment or receipt from a person resident outside India without permission of RBI. So, there can be no payment nor receipt from the person who is resident outside India. So, if there is any foreign national or if our family members are outside or having a business outside want to send us money or we want to send them money, without the permission of RBI, it cannot be carried forward. Currency. It includes all currency notes, money orders, checks, letter of credit, bills of exchange. So, currency, all these are included. That means not just currency notes, but also other modes of currency, right? Bills of exchange, letter of credit, all these are enable liquidity. Easily you can convert into cash. What is foreign currency? Means any currency other than Indian currency. So, apart from rupees, if you are dealing with any other currency in the world, it is termed as foreign currency. What is foreign security? I just explained to you. It means any security in the form of shares, stocks, bonds denominated or expressed in foreign currency, but redemption or returns such as interest or dividends are payable in Indian currency. Okay. Now, you are holding a debenture or a share of a company in USA, but the dividends are paid in rupees because you are a resident in India, correct? So, you are receiving that interest or that dividend in the form of Indian currency is rupees. So, in that case, such securities will be termed as foreign security. Is that clear? So, today we have come across what is FEMA, right? And why was it replaced by FERA? We understood why it was replaced through the LPG Act. We understood 4 different important objectives of FEMA and 4 definitions. Authorized person, what is currency, what is foreign currency and what is foreign security. So, next class we will be discussing more about the scope of FEMA Act.